So let's today go to this. Let's discuss this paper, which is 2023 July examination paper, business environment. So let's go through the paper first. So as you know, all the questions in this paper should be answered. Okay, all are compulsory. So and you will be getting like 3 hours for this paper, and you will be awarded 100 marks for the answers that you are providing. And so we do have 3 sections in the paper, section A, B and C. In section A you do have multiple choice questions, and which is you will be getting 40 marks. And in section B you will have another 3 questions, each question carrying 10 marks. And section C you will have one question which will carry 20 marks. So altogether it will be 60 marks. Okay, so let's start with the section A. In the section A, there are 10 questions like I mentioned. Okay, let's start with the section A here. So in section A, the first question is, all the questions are to select, and you should write the answer in the booklet which is provided to you. So the first question is regarding a partnership. Okay, so this is something that is from chapter 1, I guess, right? Business, isn't it so? Huh? You must have studied this. That is related to a business environment. Okay, we discuss about you discuss about several organizations there, organizational structures and their advantages, their disadvantages, their properties. All those things were discussed. So this is from that. Here the first question is to select from the following an advantage of a partnership comparing with a sole proprietorship. So first of all, tell me, what's a sole proprietorship? What is a sole proprietorship? Or we call them sole trader businesses. What is a sole proprietorship? Who is a sole trader? What is a sole trader business or sole proprietorship? What is the meaning of the word sole? Only one. So a business which is carried out by an individual, one person, is what you call a sole trader business. Okay, and what is a partnership then? In a partnership, there might be 2 or more owners, and the maximum amount of owners that we can have is how much? How many? Yeah, 20. So yes, a business which is having 2 or more owners with the maximum amount of 20 is what you call a partnership business. So what they are asking here is to select from the following an advantage of a partnership comparing to a sole trader business. Before that, tell me, what are the advantages of carrying out a business by an individual by his own? One advantage of carrying out a business by his own, he can enjoy the profits alone. There is no need to share the profits. And dissolving the businesses is, okay, closing, winding up the businesses is, there is no one to just interfere with that. But there is no need to go through all those hectic procedures. Okay, it will be easy. What else? What about the legal side of the business? What are the legal things that are affecting the business? Is it mandatory to register the business? No. Registration is not mandatory. Okay. And those are some of the advantages. What about the disadvantages? No going concern. That means if the owner is not there anymore, then the business won't be business. It is not easy, or it is impossible to continue the business, we say. Okay. And what about the liability? The liability is unlimited. Liability in the sense, if there is a problem, if like there is a need to pay the debts of the business, then owner is liable to pay the debts of the business by sacrificing his own assets, sometimes personal assets even. Okay, that is a problem. And when it comes to share of profit losses, sharing enjoying the profits alone is a benefit, but when it comes to losses, the losses will be bear by this person alone as well. So that's a disadvantage when it comes to sole trader businesses. What else? No legal personality. When you go in front of the law, in the eyes of the law, the business will not be considered as a separate person, which means it will be the owner who's facing those problems in front of the law. So those are the advantages and disadvantages. Then what about a partnership? How it is different from a sole proprietorship? In a partnership, there are advantages and disadvantages as well. As we do have few partners in the business, then we can collect more capital than we can collect in an when we are doing a sole trader business. Okay, we can collect more capital because there are several owners of the business. And when it comes to losses, unlike in a sole trader business, we can divide whatever the loss that we are facing. Okay, we can just collectively bear the loss. And when it comes to uh, other things, what about the profits and everything? The profits will be shared among the partners, which is a disadvantage. And in in the sole trader business, in partnership also, you will be experiencing a unlimited liability. Okay, and control will be collective control because all the partners should get together and make decisions. Okay, and there is no going concern. Like in a partnership, there is no going concern in, sorry, like in a sole trader business, there is no going concern in the partnership as well. Okay, and registration is not compulsory as it is as in the partnership sole trader as well, and there is no legal personality same as in sole trader businesses. Those are the features of partnerships. Okay, those are some of them are advantages and some of them are disadvantages. So here in the answer they have given you four options to choose from, and they have given these things, and they are asking us to select the advantage of partnership comparing to a sole trader business. So first one is unlimited liability. What do you think about unlimited liability? Is it there? Is it an advantage when it comes when we compare to a sole trader business? No, because both of them are having unlimited liability, and it is not an advantage at all. It's a disadvantage. And having no legal personality is an advantage. No, it is they are both in sole traders and partnerships, and it is not a advantage, it's a disadvantage. And third one, distribution of risk. What do you think about that? Yes, right. It's a advantage from the point of the partners. It is not there when in sole trader businesses. In the sole trader business, sole trader or the sole proprietor will have to bear all the losses alone. But here, when it comes to what do you call partnerships, you can distribute whatever the loss that you have to bear. Okay, which means you will bear less risk in the partnership businesses. And quick decision making is there, and it is not an advantage of a partnership as well when it comes to when you compare to sole trader business. So the answer will be number 3, distribution of risk. Okay, second one, which one of the following is not an element of a transport system? And here you have given 3 out of those 4. What is the one that is not there? Yes, processing is not an element of a transport system. So the elements of a transport system are the way, the mode, the power, and the terminal. The way means it is the different routes that you are going to take to transport whatever the things that you are going to transport. Mode is the vehicles that you are going to travel, and power is the way that you are going to supply the energy which is needed for the transport media, and terminal is the place that you are going to stop. That means load or unload. Okay, whatever the things that you are going to transport. Okay, that is, those are the elements of transport system, and processing is not one of them. So number 1 is the element which is not a is the one which is not an element of a transport system. Okay, so answer is number 1. Third one, which of the following factor is not an opportunity of the globalization? Okay, so what is globalization? So globalization means, yes, the process by which world is becoming increasingly interconnected due to trade and cultural exchange. Okay, the world becoming interconnected with the trade and cultural exchange, and shift of more integrated and interdependent world economies is what you call being globalized. And in the case in this lesson you studied the how globalization of markets is happening, and then the changes in the markets and the changes in businesses as a result of globalization were discussed in this lesson. So some of the changes are the expansion of trade in goods and services between countries is a result of globalization, and increase in the transfer of financial capital across the national boundaries is another impact of globalization, and also the internationalization of products and services, and shifts in production and consumption, increased level of labor migration, the emergence of countries playing a bigger role in the global trading system, including China, Brazil, India, Russia. Those are some of the impacts that were discussed during the lesson. So here in the question, they ask which of the following factor is not an opportunity of the globalization. They are asking about an opportunity that is not an opportunity of globalization. Okay, so the opportunities that are given here are free trade, cheap labor, expanding of the operations, and cultural differences. So out of these answers, what do you think is not an opportunity of globalization? Is free trade an opportunity? What is free trade? The ability to, the ease of trade between countries, goods and ease of trade of goods and services between countries. That is what we call free trade. Okay, and when it comes to free trade, you might get the opportunity to trade goods. You might get the opportunity to sell goods and buy goods with less restrictions. Okay, that is what happens in free trade. And cheap labor, is the opportunity or not? Because of globalization, we told that people are migrating from one place to another place, one country to another country. Labor migration is there. Okay, which means cheap labor will be available in countries. Yes, and it's an opportunity. So the next one is expanding the operations. Is it an opportunity or not? Because the number of goods and services which are traded have been expanded. Okay, and it will also expand the operations as well. It will increase the operations as well. So production and consumption will be expanded as a result of globalization. And the last one is the cultural differences. Is it an opportunity? In some of the cases, it is not an opportunity in most of the cases. Okay, globalization is not something positive to cultures and everything in the world actually. Okay, there will be several negative impacts that we might face because of these things when it comes to cultures. Okay, in some of the cases, some countries might get things or products or services which are not appropriate to them. Okay, some cultures might reject those things. Okay, so cultural appropriateness is not there when it comes to trade goods and services, and this might have been increased because of globalization, because there are no trade barriers, less trade barriers. We can just trade with any country and we can trade anything. So it will affect the cultures as well. So that is not an opportunity of globalization to a country. Okay, cultural differences is not an opportunity. So that is the answer. And next one is question number 4, 1.4. There is a question they are asking. They have given you 3 policies, and out of these they are asking what are the policies for policy that enhance the performance of SMEs in Sri Lanka. What are SMEs? Small and medium enterprises. Okay, so small and medium enterprises are there in the country, and out of these policies, what are the policies that will enhance the performance? What is the first one? Enabling environment. Enabling environment. Is it a factor? Is it a policy that enhances the performance of SMEs? How? Ways of enhancing the performance of SMEs. First one is enabling environment. How it enhance the performance of SMEs? Tell me. Here in the environment, by the word environment, are they? What is the meaning of this environment word here? It means the conductive environment. That means the environment that they need to operate as a business. So enabling the environment in the sense, improving the environment that the business is going to perform to enhance the business performance. That is what they meant. Okay. In order to enhance the ease of doing business, to improve the competitiveness and support in establishing a conducive environment for SME development. That is what is meant. That is the meaning of enabling environment, and that is something which is done by governments. Governments will set policies, regulations, and everything to make things easy for businesses. Okay, so that will ultimately help the performance. It will improve the performance of the small and medium enterprises. Okay, next one. Modern appropriate technology. Is it a factor is it a policy that enhances the performance of SMEs? In order for these businesses to be productive, innovative, and creative, okay, there should be they should adopt these new technologies. If the government has created policies, regulations, and everything to enhance that, okay, in order if the government has given the opportunity for these businesses to acquire and these sort of modern technologies, if they have facilitated these things, okay, if they have given these facilities to SMEs, it will ultimately improve the performance of the business. Okay, so yes, it's a policy that will improve the performance of SMEs. Third one, access to finance. Is it a policy that will the access to finance? If the government is deciding to give more easy, affordable access to finance, will it enhance the performance of SMEs? Yes. Okay, so yes, all those three factors A, B, and C are policies that will enhance the performance of SMEs in Sri Lanka. So you can choose the fourth answer, which is all of the above for this question 1.4. Because enabling environment, modern appropriate technology, access of finance, those things, and skill development and entrepreneurial culture development, all those things will help to enhance the performance of small and medium enterprises in the country. Okay, these policies will help that. So you can choose the fourth answer, which is all of the above. Is it okay? So 1.5, next question, that is about there are another three statements. Considering the following statements, we should choose the benefit or benefits a current account holder gets from a current account. So there are three statements which are given. Number one, payments can be made by checks. Number two, receives interest on the current account balance. Number three, ability to operate standing order instructions. So out of these, tell me what should be the answer. A, B, sorry, number one is A only. Number two, A and B only. Number three, A and C only. Number four, all of the above. What should be the answer? What are the benefits? Out of these three, what are the benefits that are given to a current account holder, that are enjoyed by a current account holder? A and C. What about B? Sure. Yes. A, it is about payments can be made. One of the main advantages which is given to a current account holder is the ability to do transactions with the checks. Okay, without using a passbook. Other than a passbook, the current account holder will be given a checkbook. Okay, so he can do transactions. He can do payments and everything with this checkbook. Okay, so yes, that's a advantage, that's a benefit which is given to a current account holder only. And the second one, receives interest on the account balance. Is it something that is going to happen for the current account holders? No, they are not given a balance on the current account balance that they are holding. Okay, it will be for these savings accounts and other accounts, but for current accounts there is no interest which is given on the account balance. And third one, ability to operate standing order instructions. That is also a advantage which is enjoyed by current account holders. They can give orders to the bank to do certain payments, to do certain things. Okay, they can tell them to pay this insurance installment on this day. They can tell them to pay this what do you call electricity bill or water bill or whatever it is. You can give them the instruction, you can give them the order. Okay, that is what you call the standing orders. So the bank on behalf of us or the current account holder will pay those orders which are given by, we fulfill those orders, they will pay those amounts. Okay, and they will collect the money as well on behalf of the current account holder. That is also a benefit. Okay, which is not mentioned here. Okay, they will collect direct remittance. Okay, people can just, they don't have to come to us, they can just go and directly deposit the money that should be given to us in the account, the current account. So collecting direct remittance is also a advantage. Okay, so out of the three which is given here, A and C are the benefits which are enjoyed by a current account holder. So the answer is number 3, A and C only. Is it okay? 1.6. Select the correct statement from the following with reference to the financial market. In the last lesson, we discussed the financial system of the country, and we discussed what are the components that are there in the financial system of the country. Okay, we discussed financial markets are there, financial instruments are there, and financial institutions are there, infrastructure is there. Okay, lots of things were there in the financial system of the country. So what they are asking here is about the financial market. What is a market? a place that you go and trade, right? A place that you go and buy and sell things. So what is a financial market then? A place, a market where financial instruments are sold and bought. Simply. Naveda? Yes. A marketplace, market where financial instruments such as claims, assets and securities are traded, and it is channel through which flow of funds are directed from a supplier who has excess of funds to a person who has a deficit of funds is what you call a financial market. So financial market. So these are the statements which are given regarding financial market. Number one, capital market can be divided into two as primary market and secondary market. Is it true or not? What is capital market? Financial market is categorized into two called capital market and money market. Mathakada? Yes. And what is money market? The place that you sell and buy short-term financial instruments, and the market that you buy and sell these long-term financial instruments and is what you call the capital market. And the sentence is capital market can be divided into two as primary market and secondary market. Is that true or not? Long-term capital funds are traded in the capital market. Financial markets capital market is the market that you trade long-term funds, okay, and money market is the market that you trade short-term funds. And here capital market can be divided again into two markets called primary and secondary. That is true, because primary market is a market where you trade these funds or instruments for the first time, and when you are trading it for the second time, when you are trading the instruments which are existing in the market again and again, that market is what you call the secondary market. This is the division. This is how we are categorizing the capital market. We can categorize the capital market into two sectors called primary and secondary market based on the instruments actually. Okay, if they are selling that instrument, if you are trading the instrument for the first time, that market is a primary market. If you are selling the existing instruments again, if you are buying the existing instruments again, that market is what you call the secondary market. So this is the classification, and money market does not have that sort of a classification, but there are several other things that are traded in the money market, like we discuss some of them. We call some of them are like coal money market, where banks use that it is a market that banks use, okay, which is the way that banks transfer the funds that they want. Okay, sometimes the banks might be a bank might be in a need of money urgently, and they can just ask another bank to lend that money. That sort of transactions are happening in the coal money market. Okay, then treasury bill market is there. Okay, where treasury bills are traded, which are having a maturity period of 3, 9, or 12 months. Okay, not 12, 3, 6 or 9, I guess. Isn't it so? Yeah, that is how it is. So treasury bill market. Okay, and those are the things that are traded in the money market. Harida? Matagada? Yes, those are the things we discussed. So first one is yes, true, correct. And second one, they are asking us to select the correct answer, which means yes, it is obviously the first one. But let's go through the next one as well. Money market is a market for purely long-term funds. Is it so? Is it true? I just told you, no, money market is the market for short-term funds, not the long-term funds. Okay. And next one, treasury bills and commercial bills are main instruments in the capital market. Like I just mentioned, treasury bills and commercial bills are traded in which market? In the money market, because they are short-term funds. Okay, they are short-term instruments. And next one, equity shares are example for an instrument in money market. Is it so? Is it true? No, equity shares, treasury bonds and everything are traded in the capital market because they are instruments, they are examples of instruments of long-term that have a long-term validity. Okay, they are long-term fund instruments. So they are traded in the capital market, not in the money market. So all the things except first one are incorrect. So the answer is the first one. Capital market can be divided into two as primary market and secondary market. Okay, next one. A document which is issued giving the right to buy shares of a company in the future at a currently agreed price is what? Number one, it is share warrant. Number two, prospectus. Number three, share certificate. Number four, articles of association. What's a share warrant? What's a prospectus? What's a share certificate? What's an article? What's an article of association? What's the article of association? What's the rules? The details about the stocks. Okay, details about the directors and secretaries. Audit, liquidation, and other information will be included in a articles of association. It is the main document which is required for the incorporation. Okay, so they say there are some other documents as well. What are they? What is the prospectus then? Document that we sent out to invite the public to buy the shares. Then what about the share certificate? Share certificate is issued at what point? When shares are bought by the person, yes. Then what about the share warrant? It is the document, that is the answer actually, okay. It is a document which gives the right to buy shares of a company in the future at a currently agreed price. So the answer for this 1.7 question is number one, share warrant, because other documents are not for the purpose. Prospectus is to invite people to buy the shares, and share certificate is given when the shares are bought by the person, and article of association is the main document which is related to the incorporation of the business, which includes all the details regarding stocks, all the details regarding the board of directors, regarding rules, regulations, and everything. Okay, which is something used to incorporate the business. Okay, so those are the things, and number one is the answer. Next one, 1.8. Which one of the following is not in composition of the financial system of Sri Lanka? Which one of the following is not in composition of the financial system of Sri Lanka? Number one, financial institutions. Number two, Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Number three, Ministry of Trade. Number four, financial market. I just said this, I guess, like few minutes ago. Financial system of Sri Lanka is composed of several factors, including financial institutions, Central Bank of Sri Lanka, financial markets, financial infrastructure, financial instruments, okay, all those except Ministry of Trade here. So that number three is the answer. It is not a element in the financial system of Sri Lanka. Okay. 1.9. Which one of the following is not a feature of a joint venture? What is a joint venture? Lesson number 1 or 2? Is it 2, right? What's a joint venture? So what's a venture? Joint venture? Joint venture is something which is set up for a specific purpose actually. Okay. So joint venture is very similar to a partnership. Okay. And in some ways, okay, and joint venture is a business arrangement which people are pooling their funds or resources to for a specific purpose, to complete a specific purpose. After the purpose is completed, they can just dissolve the venture. So there is no going concern, there is no need to register this organization, there is no need to have a specific name. Okay, there will be two or more parties. That's like in a partnership. Okay, and it is remember, it's a temporary project for a short term purpose. Once the purpose is done, once the purpose is accomplished, they can just dissolve that. There is no need to continue that. That's over. After the project is finished, they can dissolve the joint venture as well. So joint venture is a place like that, and what they are asking is which one of following is not a feature of a joint venture? Number one, is there a going concern or no going concern? There is no going concern, similar as in a partnership. And number two, registration is required. Is it so? No. This is a short-term project. So whenever we want, we can do this, and whenever the project is completed, we can resolve this. So registration is not required. And next one, involvement of two or more parties. Is it so? Is Is that should be there? Yeah, there should be 2 or more people who are involved in this to be a joint venture, and it is operated for a short-term purpose. So from these, number 2, which is registration is required, is the feature which is not a feature of a joint venture, because registration is not required for a joint venture as well. Okay, so that is the answer. So in the lesson, the differences between partnership and joint ventures is given specifically. So what are the differences? That is in the other page. What are the differences between joint ventures and partnerships? Partnership is not a short-term main thing. That is the main thing. Partnership is not a short-term project. Okay, that will continue for a long term. Okay, relatively long term than the joint venture. But joint venture, like I mentioned, is set for a specific objective, and once the objective is completed, once the project is completed, we can dissolve the joint venture. That is the main difference. And in partnerships, we do have a name. We do have a name which is a business name, and we do have a business place as well. But for joint ventures, there is no need to have a business name or a place. There is no need to have a specific place, or there is no need to have a specific name for that. And next one, in partnerships, we can have 2 to 20 partners, but in joint ventures, there is no limit for the number of partners that they can have. Okay, these unlimited number of people can pool their funds to this project. Next one, if the business is conducted on a name other than the name of the partners, the name should be registered. There is a concern like that when it comes to partnership. If the partnership is in a name other than the name of the partners, it should be registered. The business name should be registered, but there is no need to register the name of the joint ventures. And there are some special rules that affect the partnership, like a partnership ordinance, okay, fraud prevention act. I think you might have heard those things. Okay, there are rules, okay, that we should follow, that we should go through, but there are no such rules that are affecting joint ventures. And in partnerships, the accounts are maintained in the name of the business, but in a joint venture, accounts are maintained personally. Those are the main differences between partnership and a joint venture. Okay, there is, other than that, there are similarities as well. No going concern, no registration is required, and need 2 or more parties. Okay, like there are similarities as well, and these are some dissimilarities. Next one, 10th one, 1.10. Which one of the following is a reason for the growing importance of entrepreneurship? Shall we go through the answers? Number 1, ability to make free decisions. Ability to make free decisions is one of the reasons why people start entrepreneurships, but it is not concerned as a importance. I mean, like a growing importance of entrepreneurship. Okay, so here under growing importance, you may remember these are the things that we discussed. Sometimes because of entrepreneurship, actually due to entrepreneurship, there is a competition in the business world. Okay, we can say there is an increasing competition in the business world. Okay, and because of that, there are things like innovations. So entrepreneurship is very important. It is there under important, the 7.3, importance of entrepreneurship. Page number 204, I guess. Is that so? It is there, yeah. So other ones are the need for diversified business and utilize existing resources efficiently. Another reason why entrepreneurship is important is that there are so many resources in the country which have been spread out here and there, and entrepreneurship will be the factor which will gather all these production factors which are spread in the country, and will use them efficiently to produce something new. So they, in that case also, they are very important for the economy of the country, and also they will transform the new businesses. Okay, they will adapt new technologies, and they will create new things they will innovate new things, they will create new products, they will create new ideas, and everything. Okay, and they are very much important to create new job opportunities in the market as well. Okay, and other one is these entrepreneurships are need to successfully run the business in rapidly changing business environment, because those traditional businesses will not be able to keep up with the changing changing situations in the market, because they are not ready to adapt to those things. Okay, they are not very flexible. But these entrepreneurs, they are not like that. Unlike the traditional businesses, they are very flexible. Okay, they will adapt to these new situations sooner. So in a rapidly changing business environment, in order to keep up these changes, we need entrepreneurships. And it will also improve the quality of life, it will increase the personal income of the people, and it will produce more goods and services so the people can consume, and it will also affect ultimately the economic and sustainable development of the country. So out of these things, one, ability to make free decisions is not a reason for the growing importance of entrepreneurship. It is a reason why people get into entrepreneurship actually, but it is not considered as a reason for the importance of entrepreneurship, for the growing importance of entrepreneurship. And third one, avoiding problems in the business is not a reason for the growing importance of entrepreneurship, and therefore we can exclude the fourth one, which is all of the above, and answer will be the second one, the need for economic and sustainable development. That is the reason why we need entrepreneurship in the economy. And that will give you how many marks? Up to that point, we discussed 10 questions, which means you will get 2 marks for each question, which means if you did all this correctly, you will have now scored 20 marks. Okay, so let's go for the next 20. From 1.11 to 1.15, it is to mark true and false. Okay, so let's just discuss this. 1.11, principle of indemnity in insurance creates profits from insurance. Is it so? What are the principles of insurance? Contribution, indemnity, utmost good faith. What else? Subrogation, the insurable interest. So anyways, indemnity means what? Indemnity means a person is not, a person should not take profits from the insurance, okay? A person should get compensated only for the loss that he has incurred, only for the loss that he has faced, okay, or the damage that he has faced. So the first one, 1.11, principle of indemnity in insurance creates profits from insurance is true or false? Is it to create profits from insurance? No, that is false. Indemnity in the sense, a person should not create profits. A person should not gain profits from insurance, and a person should get compensated only for the amount of damage or the loss that has occurred. That is what indemnity is. So first one, it is false. The next one, endorsement is the writing on the back of the check as the recipient flows his or her name as stated in the check. In a check, there are two sides, the front and back. Remember? Okay, so what is the occasion that we are using endorsement? What is endorsement? It is a process of signing at the back of the check as it is stated in the front of the, in the face of the check, to pass it to somebody else. That is what happens. And in this case, we are doing this endorsement in what situation? What are the situations that we are doing endorsement? In actually, when the receiver is depositing the bank in the check in the bank, also yes, he should do the endorsement part. What else other than that? Whenever he is transferring the check to somebody else, if it's an order check, okay, we know order checks are there, bearer checks are there. Okay, if an order check is transferred to somebody else, in that case, we should endorse our name in the back of the check as it is stated in the front of the check. And then when we are uncrossing the cross checks at the bank counter, we should endorse our name. And there are types of endorsement. There were special endorsements were there, blank endorsements were there, restrictive endorsements were there. Okay, what's a blank endorsement? Writing the name on the back. Just writing the name on the back is a blank endorsement. And what is a special endorsement? Whenever we are writing our name, we are writing the name of the person that should be paid for as well. That is a special endorsement. Then restrictive endorsement, we are specifying that person's name. Okay, we will just specify his name. We will write only this person can take this check. We will specify him like that. Okay, otherwise he can just transfer that to anybody else. Without doing that, we can specify a name to pay that to that person only, and it will be passed to that person only. It will not be transferred thereafter. Okay, so that is what you call restrictive endorsement. Then next there was another one, conditional endorsement, which means after fulfilling a condition only, the payment will happen. That is also restriction. Okay, after receiving the goods only, the payment will happen. Okay, likewise you can put the condition in the back as well when you are endorsing. So these are the types of endorsements which is done when passing the check to another person. Okay, when passing a check to another person, or when you are depositing the check in the bank. Okay, in those cases this endorsement will happen. Endorsement in the sense writing the name which is stated in the front of the check in the back as well as it is. That is what, and signing is what you call endorsement. Haridha? And here what they are asking is endorsement is the writing on the back of the check as the recipient flows his or her name as stated in the check. Is it true or false? True. Okay, according to things we discuss now, it is true. Next one, changes in government policies in relation to taxation is an internal factor which cause failures in SMEs. Is government policies and taxation are internal factors of a SME? Simply? No. So, is this correct? No, this is false because it is not an internal factor. Changes in the government policies and taxation are not an internal factor that will cause SME, that will affect the SME. So third one is false, and next one, change in social attitudes is a factor to rise for contribution of women entrepreneurship. Is it so? Social attitudes, does it affect women entrepreneurship? We discussed types of entrepreneurship, intra-entrepreneurship, women entrepreneurship. Okay, those things were discussed. And what is intra-entrepreneurship? Just something not related to this. What is intra-entrepreneurship? Oh, I told you sometimes it is called intrapreneurship as well. What is that? Entrepreneurship means what? Simply, it is the innovation and risk management to identify business opportunities and satisfy human needs. Okay, so being innovative and being taking the risk and being identifying business opportunities, that all those things combined is what you call entrepreneurship. So intra-entrepreneurship means sometimes in organizations the employees are given a chance to be more creative. Okay, we define that. How did we define intra-entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship which is generated from a workplace. Okay, among employees, from the employees is what you call the intra-entrepreneurship. And there are things like concepts like social entrepreneurship. Okay, which means innovative things that serve the society is what you call social entrepreneurship. Then there is things called green entrepreneurship, which means concerning about the environment and sustainability. Okay, those entrepreneurial efforts are called so green entrepreneurships, and global entrepreneurship is there. Okay, and then there was something called women entrepreneurship. So in women entrepreneurship, we discussed that women nowadays we can see there is a tendency of women be coming into this entrepreneurship like unlike before. Okay, then the percentage has increased of women coming to entrepreneurship, and there were a few reasons that were affecting that. One of them is the changes in attitudes of people, changes in attitudes of the society. Okay, that was a factor because previously women were were considered as a part of the home. Okay, they were expected to be at home and do the house chores and everything, but nowadays it is different. So these attitude changes, these changes in attitudes of the society has influenced the increase of women entrepreneurs in the country. Other than that, what are the factors that help? What do you call that? Influence this thing other than social changes, improved education level. What else? The family income should have increased because of the expenses and everything. People need more income, and as a part of that, women entrepreneurs have grown unlike before. And women being frugal is also men. Women being frugal and thrifty is one of the reasons why women entrepreneurship has increased. What else? Unlike before, we can see high number of women in the workforce in the country nowadays. That is also a factor which influences this. Okay, and there are so many business sectors that women are involved. nowadays. So those are some of the reasons why women entrepreneurship has increased unlike before. So the answer is true. Yes, the sentence is true. Next one, the Colombo Stock Exchange operates as the only share market in the Sri Lankan economy. Is it true? Have you heard anything except Colombo Stock Exchange? No. So Colombo Stock Exchange is the only place that will operate to share the, what do you call, to share as a share market. Okay, that is the only place. That is the only place that you can go and what do you call, register your business, and you can, where you can sell or buy shares openly. That is the only place that you can have that access. So Colombo Stock Exchange is the only share market in Sri Lankan economy. So that is true. Next one, you are expected to write short answers there. Okay, you are expected to write answers there, and for all these questions you will be getting 2 marks each again. Well, first one, state the difference between a formal organization and an informal organization. What's a formal organization? Organization with a well-defined structure. Okay, where people have created deliberately. Okay, they have created that for a purpose. That sort of a place, that sort of organization is what you call the formal organization. And the next one is informal organization. So, what is an informal organization? Just because people just want, individuals wanted, okay, it has been, there is no formal structure in that organization, there is no defined structure, okay, they just, as the individuals in that group wanted that, okay, as a, to function in the society, they have created that only, okay. So for example, things like these small group chats that you have, okay, or these these Facebook groups and these other social media groups and everything, those are examples of informal structures, okay, informal organizations. And formal organizations are these departments and these what do you call, these mini other organizations like banks and everything. Those, they do have a formal structure, they do have a established structure, so those are known as formal organizations. So that is the difference. Number 1.17, explain briefly what is meant by dual insurance. Something from insurance again. What is dual insurance? I told you in some of the cases people tend to take 2 or more policies for the same property, or the same for that, not only for the properties, also for life. Okay, in such a case we call that a dual insurance. If there are like 2 insurance policies for the same property or for the same person, okay, let's say one person has taken 2 life insurance policies, that is what we call the dual insurance, having 2 insurance policies. Then next one, list 2 variables of the internal environment of a business. What are the variables of internal environment of a business? Name like 5 at least, not just 2. Name 5. Value systems, organizational culture, human resources, other resources that are there in the organization. Those are what you call internal variables. So all the things that you mentioned in the part called human resources, we are covering all those things, people like managers, workforce and everybody. Okay, in human resources, when it comes to, if we tell the variable as human resources, that means it covers all the people, all the staff and everything, everyone who are working there. When we call value system, yes, it covers everything, that including attitudes, beliefs and everything of the organization. Okay, and organizational culture means what? Organizational culture means again the rituals and these practices and everything that they have practiced for. And vision statement means what? The statement that explains the reason for establishing this organization, okay, why this is existing. Okay, that is what is explained by the vision statement. And management structure is how the authority has been delegated, how the responsibility has been given. Okay, those things are explained. Those things are what comes under management structure. So those are the variables that will include in the internal environment of a organization. I will tell them again. Things like value system, organizational culture, vision statement, human resources, management structure and other resources will be included in the internal environment of a organization. Those are the variables. Okay, you just have to name two variables here in order to score 2 marks. Next one, list two roles of an entrepreneur. Roles of an entrepreneur. What are the roles which are played by the entrepreneur? He is the person who's identifying and utilizing business opportunities. He is the one who's creating new goods and services and everything, okay, new ideas, okay. And he is the one who's determining what work to be done by the people and how it should be done. Okay, that is, he is determining all those factors, and also he is the one who's what do you call, initiating and leading the business activities. He's the one who's taking the risk. He's the one who's creating the job. He's the one who's forecasting the business changes and everything. He's the one who's working for that. Okay, all those things are roles played by an entrepreneur. So things including identifying business opportunities and utilizing them, making changes or innovations in the product, then determining alternatives that can be used to produce, and determining the amount of work to be done by the people. Those are some of the roles which are played by an entrepreneur. So you just have to name two of those roles to earn 2 marks in this question. Very last one, define what is meant by sustainable development. What is sustainable development? Simply utilizing of resources without compromising the future consumption is what you call sustainable development. That means you can utilize whatever resources that are currently available optimally without compromising, without damaging the usage of the future generations, okay, without damaging the future consumption. If you are using some resources like that, yes, that is what you call sustainable development. So that is the end of the section A. So let's start the discussion of this section B, which gives you like 40 marks. Which gives you 40 marks, not like, which gives you 40 marks. And in that, there are 4 parts. 4 questions are there, each giving you 10 marks. So in this case, there you have to explain, you have to define and state factors, okay. For these things, you will be getting marks, okay, accordingly. And let's go through the first one. Question number 2, which is the first question of section B. I'll just read this out. Somasiri sells vegetables near Colombo Horana main road. So all these are small case studies, okay. Listen. Somasiri sells vegetables near Colombo Horana main road. He uses his small lorry as his shop and displays price boards around the lorry. Majority of his customers are passengers of the road who are traveling back from offices. Okay. So the question is, explain whether you can classify Somasiri's vegetable selling as a business. Can you classify Somasiri's vegetable selling procedure as a business here? Yes or no? Yes, it's a business. Why? Why we consider that as a business? What is a business? Can we define? Can somebody define a business? Business means an economic activity which will satisfy human needs and wants. Okay, and this thing that Somasiri is doing, yes, it can be categorized as a business because it fulfills the needs and wants of the people in their everyday life. Is it so? And also, Somasiri is doing those other things as well. He's engaging in an economic activity. Isn't that so? He's purchasing. He must have purchased that from somebody, or he must have manufactured that. Okay, those things are sold by him in his lorry. For that, he is getting a price. Okay, so and this is a continuous process. He's not just going to do that today and just going to vanish tomorrow. So this is a continuous process, and he's doing that for intention of profit. He's trying to get some sort of a profit from this. Okay, and by doing this, we don't know, he's facing this risk and uncertainties as well. We don't know what will happen. We don't know whether the office workers will buy everything that he need or not. So there is a risk. Okay, and using his effort of selling can fall into all those categories that we categorize the businesses. Okay, So yes, we can say that, we can categorize that the business activity or this the process which is carried out by Somasari is a business process. We can categorize that. Okay, so in the answer you can write this. You can write what a business is first. Okay, you can start your answer there. You can write what a business is first, and because Somasiri, you can tell that as Somasiri is business, and you can write the features of a business as well. Okay, characteristic of a business. You can mention those things. Okay, what are the characteristics of businesses that I mentioned just now? Okay, it is an economic activity and they are doing exchange. There is a risk. Okay, this is something that is done with the intention of profit. You can mention the characteristics and you can say that yes, as Somasari is doing this process, okay, as he is selling his vegetables with the intention of gaining profit, and all as it falls into all these other features, okay, we can conclude that Somasari's vegetable selling is a business. Okay, so that is how you can explain. And next thing, question B, explain 3 characteristics of a sole proprietorship, something that we discussed previously. What are the characteristics of sole proprietorships? A sole trader business, a business which is owned by an individual. Its ownership is owned by one person, right? There are no other people. He's owned by one person, and capital is introduced by that one person. Okay, that is also another characteristic. And the next one, administration decision making is done by the owner himself. Okay, and liability is unlimited, which means he will have to pay the business debts by sacrificing his personal property if needed. Okay, and there is no legal personality, there is no need for registration of the business. Okay, and profits and losses will be bared alone. Okay, those are the characteristics, and in this case you are asked to explain the 3 characteristics, which means you should write 3 characteristics and you should explain them briefly. Okay, for that you will get 3 marks. The whole marks will be given for that. Okay, so remember to write and explain briefly. Next one, C, state 3 advantages of a sole proprietorship. State 3 advantages of a sole proprietorship. Do we need to explain here? No, just stating would be enough. So, tell me 3 advantages of a sole proprietorship. Easy setup, easy to get started, and can enjoy the profits alone, and losses will be bared alone as well. Okay, that's not an advantage. Here we are going to mention the advantages. So you can write, can bear the, enjoy the profits alone. You can tell that. And are there any legal impacts? No, no legal impacts. Okay, and whenever, like you mentioned, you can easily dissolve the business whenever you need. Okay, and it will, you can, there is freedom in decision making for the owner, and he can have direct contact with the customers. It is an advantage. Okay, and what else? Easily control, and there will be something like for self-satisfaction for the owner as well. Those are some of the advantages of conducting a sole proprietorship. Those are the reasons why sole proprietorships are there. So you can just state 3 advantages of sole proprietorships to get that full mark there. So altogether there will be 10 marks awarded for this question. Okay. So this question was from lesson number what? Chapter 1 regarding business organizations and business related concepts. Okay. Chapter 1, from chapter 1 you have they have given this question number 2. Next one, question number 3. I'll read again. Edmund Tea, which is a Ceylon tea brand, is popular in Russia for several decades. Mr. Eddie Havergay, the founder of Edmund Tea, was personally engaging in marketing and branding of their products in the Russian market. Trade sanctions have been imposed by Russia on many products due to Ukraine-Russia invasion. Hence, he is in the view that there will be negative influence on the global political instability on his tea business and is planning to convert it into e-trade. So, this question is from which chapter? Hmm? We are talking about trade sanctions and e-trade. Okay, so that is about trade in the business organization. That is number 4 and 5. Chapter number 4 and 5 are covered in this question. Okay, so here first question is to define what is meant by a trade sanction. They are asking you to define what a trade sanction is. So what is a trade sanction? Trade sanctions are the penalties which are imposed by one country, okay, one country or more countries targeting against a country or a group or individual organization. Okay, that means one of the parties is imposing a penalty on another party. That is what happens in trade sanctions. Okay, so here trade sanction is, we can again define that as commercial and financial penalties imposed by one country against another country or an organization or an individual. That is how you define sanctions. So for writing that definition, you will be awarded 2 marks. Okay, for writing the definition, for writing that simple definition. So go through those things as well. Okay, and next question is to state 3 disadvantages of electronic trade to Edmund T. So Edmund T is he the customer or is he the producer here? This business. Oh, yeah, he's the producer. He's the business. So, from the business point of view, you should write 3 disadvantages of e-trade. When we were discussing about e-trade, electronic trade, what is electronic trade first? What is e-trade? Doing trade activities through online platforms or over the internet. That is what we call e-trade. And in e-trade, we discussed the disadvantages and advantages from the point of customer and from the point of view of business. So here you have to write the disadvantages faced by this Edmund T. Okay, which is the business here. So what are the disadvantages faced by a business when it comes to e-trade? What are the advantages they face? First of all, tell the advantages that they face. Reducing inventory, yes, they don't have to keep up the inventory and everything, yes. Reducing paperwork and everything, and they are open 24/7, which means they have more chances of doing business and their market will be expanded, isn't it so? So those are the advantages of having e-trade for a business. And what are the disadvantages then? If there are like restrictions on over the internet and other accesses of consumers, that will be a disadvantage for the business. Let's say the country has imposed some sort of a barrier for us to barricading for us to access those sites. So what do you think will happen to the producer in that case? It will be a disadvantage for them because customers are not allowed to access to that site. Okay, and things like payment problems will be there. Okay, when it comes to payment, sometimes customers may not be aware of those things. So there will be problems related to payment systems. That's a disadvantage for the business. Okay, and sometimes there will be technical issues. If something goes wrong, then the whole site will collapse. Okay, that is a disadvantage for them. Those technical issues that might arise. Okay, and what else?
Distrust.
Yes, consumers' perception will matter because sometimes they will distrust the business. Okay, sometimes they will distrust the methods of payment and everything as well. If they are not well aware about the payment methods and the business and everything, they won't have that feeling of trust, which is a disadvantage for the business. What else? And even though setting up a business is easy through online methods, the startup will be very complex because you will have to create a website, you will have to get other equipment that you need and everything. Okay, if you don't have this technical knowledge, then you will have to hire someone externally as well to keep up with that work, right? If you don't have the technical expertise and everything, so those problems are there. So starting up will be complex. It will be costly. Okay, so those are the disadvantages faced by a business here, specifically by Edmund T. by going to this electronic trade method. Okay, so these you can just state three factors, three disadvantages, and there is no need to explain them. By that you can get 3 marks for that question. Just naming three disadvantages will be enough. Next one, explain 3 economic objectives that the government expects to achieve through businesses. From the next lesson, number 5, which is about government. Okay, so in that case we discussed what a government does in this business field. Okay, how they are interfering, how they are contributing, how they are involving in these businesses. So what is the reason why governments get into these businesses? Why they are interfering in this thing? Why businesses ending? Because there are objectives that they need to satisfy, that they need to achieve. Okay? And they are trying to achieve those objectives through businesses. Okay, and businesses, they also, in other way, they are also contributing to achieve those objectives of the governments. I told you there is a two-way relationship. Government is giving things to businesses and businesses are giving things to government. That is how they survive. Okay, so here businesses, they are asking us to explain 3 objectives that the government expect to achieve through businesses. What are the things that government expects to achieve through a business? That is what they are asking. So what are the things? They are trying to achieve their government objectives. For example, employment. Okay, so contributing to employment contribution is something that the government expects that a business will do. Because government does have a objective regarding employment. They need to reduce the unemployment and they need to increase the employment level. So they will expect the businesses to do so by creating more jobs, by creating more firms, okay, by doing those things. So that is one of the objectives that government tries to achieve through a business, which is contributing to employment. Okay, by hiring people, by creating jobs, and ultimately these things will lead to employment stability and also development and income in the country. Isn't that so? That will happen ultimately. Next one, a government again expects a business to minimize the damage that they do to the environment, because sustainable development is a goal, objective of the government. They expect a business to minimize the damages that they are doing, right? So they want the business to be sustainable. Okay, they want the business to move forward in an economically friendly approach. Okay, that is another objective that government is trying to achieve through the businesses. And other one, use of local resources, which is at full efficiency. Okay, full utilization of resources. That is the objective of the government. They need to utilize whatever the resources that we have in the country. And they can't do that alone. Therefore, they are trying to get that done through the businesses. They are letting businesses to do that. They are telling businesses to do that. They want businesses to go and collect the resources which have been spread out here and there in the country, and they need to utilize them for the production of goods and services. Okay. And next one, the government want an income. Isn't it so? They want an income. So they need businesses to pay taxes. That is another objective that government is trying to achieve, because they need income as a government. And also they want the businesses to follow whatever the policies that they are implementing. That is also another objective. They don't want businesses to do whatever they want. They are imposing policies and they expect businesses to follow them. Okay, so likewise there are several objectives that a government is trying to achieve through businesses: contributing to employment, minimizing the damage to environment, paying taxes, it was utilizing resources, then following the policies of the government. Those are some. So you should write 3 for these. As the answer, you should write at least 3 and you should explain them as well, briefly. Just writing the answer will not be enough. Stating the objective. Just stating the objective will not be enough. You should write sort of a brief description as well. Okay, that is how we score the 5 marks which are given for that question. So altogether there will be 10 marks again. Next one, number 4. Listen, okay. Express Logistics is in the business of providing logistics services to Sri Lankan companies who are engaged in international businesses. With the prevailing economic crisis, they are experiencing a drastic decline in their profit margins due to higher costs. Hence, the management of the company is planning to start a new business targeting the export market. So here we are talking about logistics, which was there in which lesson? Lesson number? When we were talking about business support services and isn't it so? We discussed. So what is logistics? In distribution, the next lesson we discussed, the distribution was from producer to consumer. Okay, the part that we take from producer to consumer was discussed in distribution. And in logistics, we are discussing from the point of supplier to the consumer, how products or raw materials are taken from supplier to producer and how products are how the manufactured products are delivered to the consumer. All those things will be covered in logistics. Okay, and this part where we consider how raw materials are taken from supplier to producer is known as inbound logistics. Okay, and how producer send the goods to consumer are that part that we are discussing about how goods are sent from producer to consumer is known as outbound logistics. Okay, and based on the weight that we have for inbound and outbound of the business, we categorize these logistics into 4 systems. Do you remember? Heavy inbound, heavy outbound, balance and reverse logistics. Those are the 4 systems. Okay, what happens in heavy inbound? The inbound part is more heavy. There are more layers in inbound. Okay, for example, let's take an aircraft manufacturing company. Okay, they might be taking raw materials from supplier 1, 2, 3, 4 and level. There will be a number of suppliers who are giving the raw materials. Okay, and the manufacturer or the producer, okay, will give the manufactured aircraft to the company and giving the aircraft service after manufacturing to the customers is a very easy part. You just have to worry about the ticketing part and everything. How the service is delivered and everything. Okay, but producing that aircraft was very complex. So we have more weight in the inbound part when it comes to aircraft industry. Because giving that to customer is very easy, ticketing and everything like I mentioned. Okay, so this sort of a thing where inbound part is more heavy, we call, where there are more layers in inbound, we call them heavy inbound logistics. Okay, and there are sometimes we experience this sort of situation. There will be few suppliers. Getting the raw materials and resources is very easy. But after producing, giving that to customers is very complex. Okay, so the outbound part is have more layers and inbound part is like simple compared to outbound part. Giving the finished product to consumer is the most complex part here. Okay, taking the raw materials and producing that is very easy. Okay, for like things like a medicine. That is the example that I gave you if you remember. Okay, taking the chemicals and everything and producing the tablet is easy. But when we go to the market and when we are trying to sell that to a person, we will have to go through lots of things. We will have to take a license and we will have to give get these certifications and everything. It is not easy to sell a drug, a tablet. Okay, so selling that is very hard. Which means there are more layers in the outbound part and less layers in the inbound part. This sort of a transaction, this sort of a situation is called a heavy outbound logistics system. Okay, and in some of the cases we do have like same weightage in both sides, inbound and outbound. That sort of a situation is known as a balanced logistic system. Okay, and in some of the cases we have reverse logistics where consumers will give us the discarding items again for us, or we will, as the producer, we can just give it to the supplier. Okay, alright. ඉතුරු වෙච්ච කාලේ ආයසරයක් යනවා process එකේ. Supply consumer ගේ ඉඳලා. That is what you call reverse logistics. For example, I told you things like these gas cylinders. Okay, gas cylinders, ඊට පස්සේ hotmale milk and everything, okay? Those are things that we collect again. The empty gas cylinder we are collecting again as a producer. Isn't that so? It will, I mean, not the producer, it will be collected by the agents who are selling that, and it will be given to the producer again to refill. Okay, that is what you call reverse logistics. And in that question, what they are asking is here, explain two types of logistic systems used depending on the type of product of an organization. So, out of these four, you should explain at least two. I explained all four things now. Okay, out of these, you should explain at least two. You should name and explain these things. Okay, heavy inbound, heavy outbound, balanced and reverse logistics. Name two and explain those two. Okay, that is how you get the 4 marks which is given to this question. And next one, explain 3 advantages of moving to international trade. People who are doing business in locally, why do they go to international trade? What is the reason? Because international trade means they are going beyond the territory, geographical region, area. What is the reason why they go beyond their territory? Because they can enjoy more profits. That is one of the main reasons, right? They have, like, in here they have limited number of customers, but if they are going international, they have lots of potential customers out there, which means more profits. And they will have access to raw materials and supplies sometimes, okay? The things that we didn't have here will be there available in other countries. So if you are going there, we can get the access to those things as well, easily. Okay, and we can get tax benefits sometimes. Okay, as a producer, as a business, by moving into international trade, we can get tax concessions. Okay, businesses who are doing exports and everything will be granted tax concessions sometimes. So those things can be obtained. And also, we can have the access to global market as a business. And again, it will become a competitive advantage to the business. Okay, that means local market might not be attractive sometimes for the business, and in that case they can go international. Okay, they can go and compete in international market suppliers. So it will become a competitive advantage for them sometimes. Okay, going international. So these are some of the advantages. Out of these, you should at least name 3. You should name 3 and explain those things as well. Name 3 and explain. That is how you score the full marks which is given for this question, which is 6. That is how you get the total 10 marks. Is it okay? Yes. Next one. Last question in section B. Sanjeeva is the head of marketing at Clean Wash Private Limited. Sanjeeva thought of creating WhatsApp groups by adding sales representatives of each province of Clean Wash Private Limited to convey important and urgent messages among the team members. However, some representatives are not regular users of those chat groups. In addition to those groups, Sanjeeva is a member of the WhatsApp group created for senior management. So he has now created some WhatsApp groups to give urgent messages to the representatives of each province. Okay, and there is a separate WhatsApp group for senior management members. Okay, so using this, they are asking us to state 3 qualities of the above communication method used by Clean Wash Private Limited. So what is the communication method that they are using here? What are the qualities of this communication method that they can experience? Qualities? Okay, there is no, yes, speed is there. What else? Low cost, completeness, politeness. So these are the qualities of communication methods. Okay, low cost, these things should be there. These are the things that should be there as qualities. Low cost, availability of the method, okay, speed, completeness, being polite, concreteness of the information, correctness, consideration, being brief, and being safe. The information should be a secret, okay, if it is necessary. Okay, those things should be there. Those are the qualities of communication, this communication method, and out of that you should state 3 qualities to get the full marks. Just stating 3 would be enough. Low cost, availability, speed, completeness, 3 would be enough. Okay. Next one. Explain 2 importances of continuing the above communications to the company. Explain 2 importances of continuing the above communications to the company. What are the importances of communicating above communications to the company, the business? One of the things is this is very cost effective, right? For the organization, this is very cost effective. They can communicate with a very low cost. What else? There is no need to go through this complex processes, and it is very easy to set up. And also, they do have, they help to reach a wider number of people at the same time. Okay, so you can have a wider user base, which is another importance of this communication. Okay, they have a wider reach at the same time. That means they can reach lots of people at the same time. Okay, and they can improve customer experience and engagement as well. Using this, they can send customized messages. There are several groups here, right? There are several groups that I have designed for several people, several purposes. So they can send customized messages. Okay, it will help to enhance the overall experience of the users. So those are the importances of this communication method to the organization, company. Okay, and in the last question, there also you have to just mention 2 and explain them as well very briefly. And in the last question, they are asking you to state 3 supportive services that clean wash private limited requires for a smooth functioning of their business activities other than communication. So in example, in the case we discuss about communication, other than that, what are the other supportive services that they can have to function smoothly? Insurance, banking, yes, financial services, logistics, okay, banking, logistics, financial services, transportation, insurance. Those are some of the other supportive services that they can use to function smoothly as a business. So just naming 3 will give you full marks there, which is very easy. Isn't that so? Yeah. Yes, that is very easy. So let's go to the very last question quickly. Section C. Case study is there in section C. Not very lengthy, even though it is lengthy, it is very simple, I guess, right? So let's go through this. Question number 6, section C, which will give you 20 marks. Okay. So this question, yeah, I'll just read the case first. Shanta is a sole proprietor, resides in Vadur. Okay, Shanta is a sole proprietor, resides in Vadur. He has a business which trades household cleaning tools. He collects those tools from small-scale home-based manufacturers and sells them to Ampara and Monaragala regions. His products are very popular in those areas. He has 3 small lorries and a house which has been converted to a store. The products which he is trading are comparatively cheaper and are of second-grade quality. He is in the view that this quality and price is matching with the requirements of the customers of the market segment. However, according to his opinion, this second-grade quality is not matched with the requirements of the customers in other areas, especially those who are in Western province. Recently, he found it difficult to bear the increase in fuel costs in the country. Further, suppliers also increase the price due to increase in fuel cost and imported material cost. This has led him to increase the selling price of the cleaning tools. This price increase has disappointed most of his customers initially. Due to import restrictions imposed by the government, manufacturers face difficulties to find the material required to manufacture some of these tools. Therefore, Shanta expects to understand his internal and external business environments by using suitable analysis. In the meantime, Shanta is trying to expand his business to Anuradhapur area with one of his friends as a partnership. A bank loan was also approved by the bank for expansion of the business. So, in this question, by using this case study, you should answer this next 5 questions A, B, C, D, and E, where you get 20 marks. Let's go to the first one. There you are asked to assess the business environment of Shanta using a SWOT analysis. So there you have to assess, which means you can't just define or you can't just simply explain that and move on. You should do something more here. Okay, so you are asked to assess the thing, assess the case, assess the business environment of Shanta using a SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis? What is the SWOT stands for? SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. So, what is the meaning of being a strength? Can we find strengths in external environment? No. Strengths and weaknesses are found in internal environment. Strengths are the favorable factors which are there in the internal environment, and weaknesses are the unfavorable negative factors that are there in the internal environment. And opportunities and threats are there in the outside environment, okay, external environment. So opportunities are the favorable factors in the external environment, and threats are the negative or unfavorable factors that are there in the external environment. So in this case, can you give me one of the strengths of this business? Just go through this. I told you, just writing, defining the SWOT and everything is not enough. You should write by taking relevant examples from the case which is given. Case study. What is the strength that you can find in Shanta's business here? Huh? Tell me a strength. They say, right? His products are very popular in the areas. Isn't that a strength? That's a strength. And they say his products are comparatively cheaper and of second-rate quality. That is there in the second paragraph, the first sentence. Right? So those are strengths, isn't it so? Those are the favorable factors that are there existing in the business. Those are strengths. What else? Huh? He does have several, what do you call? He has a store. He has a few lorries, 3 lorries. Okay. He has a house which has been converted to store. So those are what? Those are strengths. He does have enough facilities. That's a strength. What else? And he is ready to have a partnership with a friend. That is actually okay. And he has approved a bank loan as well. Okay. So he does have enough finance here, which means a strength. The partnership has not happened yet. Okay. But he has a bank loan which was approved by the bank, which is there in the business now. Okay. So it is a strength for him to expand his business. So those are the strengths that we can take as from the case which is given. What are they? Popular, being popular, cheap, and having resources. Here resources in the sense lorry, the store, okay, the financial resources, that means the bank loan granted, okay. Those are strengths of Shanta's business. And what is the next one? Weaknesses. What are weaknesses? What are the things which are negative, which are inside his business now? He is just selling his goods to Monaragal and where? Some Monaragal and Ampara. That is the third sentence in the first paragraph. He is just selling his goods to Ampara and Monaragal regions, which means he does have a small market. He has only a small market. He is trying to expand Anuradhapur. That is not the future. That is something else. He doesn't have that yet, which means he has a limited market access. And also he say that his goods are second grade quality, so it is not suitable for Western province market. That's a weakness, right? Because his goods are his whatever the quality and the price is not matching up with the requirements of the customers who are in the Western province, which means that is a weakness. So having a limited market and having second grade quality products are the weaknesses of Shanta's business at the moment. Okay, but they say that he's trying to expand Anuradhapura. Isn't that an opportunity? Yes, that's an opportunity. I'll just do it. Okay, that's an opportunity. He's trying to expand to Anuradhapura. That's an opportunity that is there for him. He can grab this opportunity. That's a favorable situation that is there for him, which is out external to the business. And also, he is ready to diversify and he is ready to expand his business. Okay, he is trying to get into this new business. Okay, they say that a bank loan was approved and that is for the business expansion. Okay, he is ready to increase the market, is ready to increase the business capacity and everything. So that's an opportunity. Okay, but there are some threats that is facing as well. What are the threats? The increase of fuel prices. It has been affecting him in a negative way. Why? Because of that, the producers, because he is taking goods from small scale producers who are doing home based production, they have increased their prices. It's a negative thing for him. So fuel prices have increased the price, which is not a good thing for him. And also because of that, the material costs have increased as well. Okay, and there is a material shortage because the government is not importing anything these days, they say. Okay, and they say that because of the import restrictions, because of the import restrictions of the government, people are not able to find the material which are required to do these things, which is a threat, which is something out of his control. He can't just go and influence the government. Okay, so those are the threats which are faced by him. Okay, the imposition of restrictions by the governments, increase of fuel prices, increase of material prices, increase of prices by the suppliers, shortage of material. Those are the threats that is facing at the moment. Okay, so this is the SWOT. Just writing what SWOT is not enough. You should write things from the case, relating to the case. There another? Yes, next one. Assess whether Shanta is an entrepreneur or a business person. Tell me. Is he a business person or an entrepreneur? What is the difference between these two people? Because an entrepreneur is a businessman, but a businessman is not an entrepreneur. Why we say that? What is the difference between these two people? We say that entrepreneur is someone who's innovative, who's creative, who's trying to find something new. But a business person is not like that. He's very traditional. He doesn't like to get those, that is doing something new means that's a risk. That's a big risk. And entrepreneurs are willing to take that risk. But businessmen, they are not like that. They don't like the risk. So what they do is they are just trying to take whatever the opportunity that has been created in the business world out there. Okay, something that was created by a person before will be explored by them. They are not trying to do something new. Another. So business person is someone like that. He is just taking the options that are there outside, that are existing in the world. Okay, but entrepreneur he's going to find something new. He's going to innovate something new. Okay, so tell me whether Shanta is a business person or an entrepreneur. Is he a business person or an entrepreneur? Thing is that here, based on your idea, you can give the answer. But whatever the answer that you give, remember to justify that. Okay, if you think him as a business person, then do whatever you can to justify your answer. Okay. And if you think he's an entrepreneur, then do whatever you can to justify that answer. Okay. So if your answer is a business person, yes, then you should justify. Then you should tell, okay, he's not finding anything new. He's not create. I mean, he hasn't produced anything new to the market. He is exploring an existing idea in the market. Okay. And he's buying things from others and selling that. That is what he's doing. Okay. He's that. So you can justify that that he's a businessman. And if you think that he's an entrepreneur, then you should tell that, okay, he has exploited this new concept. Okay, he's taking things from those people who are there in home-based places, and he's going to sell that to these other places, far away places. Okay, he has faced these sort of challenges, and he's taking the risk of this thing. Okay, you should justify that. Okay, but here yeah, again, the home-based people will not see this opportunity, but he is the one who saw this opportunity. Okay, that is why he is doing this. He is taking the goods from them and just selling them there. He is the one who is seizing the business opportunity. So you should justify. Okay, Harida, that is about him being a business person or an entrepreneur. So next one, explain 3 types of partners with whom Shanta can join in forming a partnership. So types of partners. Who are the types of partners? There are, yes, active partner is there. Who is active partner? Who is actively participating and bearing unlimited liability. That partner is whom we call the active partner. And what about a silent partner then? He is bearing unlimited liability, but he is not participating in management activities. Isn't it so? A general partner, he managed the business, his responsibility is unlimited, and he is known to the public and he enjoys all the benefits. So in active partners, they actively participate in the business management, therefore they will be receiving a salary sometimes. Okay, they will be receiving a salary other than the profit share, because they are actively participating in that case. Okay, and general manager is not someone like that. Even though he's participating, he's not just there fully for that purpose. So in that case, he will not be receiving a salary sometimes. There will be differences, okay? And there are other people like a secret partner. Who is a secret partner? He does all those things, but the public doesn't know that he's a partner. He has the unlimited liability. Okay, he is participating to the capital and everything. Okay, he sometimes engage in management as well, but public is not aware about that person. Okay, and there is a person called priority partner. Who is a priority partner? The name of the partner whose name is there in the documents at first. The first name, the partner with partner in the first place in the name list, that is the partner that we call the priority partner. When it comes to these taxes and other things, the name matters, okay? Because he will be the one who's getting the call. He will be the one who's getting his name will be there at the beginning in these deeds and everything. So he's the priority partner. And there is another one called sleeping partner. Who's the sleeping partner? Dormant partner. Dormant partner is a person who's does not participate in the management process, and he is not the public is not aware about that person as well. Okay, and he is entitled to share of profits and losses in the business. Okay, he does not participate in the management process. So that sort of a partner is whom we call the sleeping partner. So in this case, you should at least mention 3 types of partners that Shanta can join, and you should explain about them briefly. That is how you get the 6 marks. Next one, identify 2 risks that Shanta cannot insure. In the lesson insurance we discussed, there are some things which are insurable and there are some things which are non-insurable. We can't just insure everything. I told you, just broken, heartbreaking thing, okay, there was something that happened and your heart is now broken. Not in the sense physically, okay, heart broken, emotionally damaged. Can you insure that? No, your emotional damage cannot be insured, right? Failing. Now here, when it comes to Shanta's case, okay, let's say all of these efforts are for the profit, but let's say there is a risk associated with that. By any chance, if Shanta takes some sort of a wrong decision, wrong turn, then that would cause the failure of his business. Can you insure the failure of a business? No. The failure of a business due to a decision of the owners? No, those risks cannot be insured. Those are not insurable. What else? Let's say this manager, let's say the partner who is or these workers or these managers who are working under him have incurred sort of a loss. Can you insure that? Because of a decision which is taken by a manager or a worker, he has incurred a loss in the business. Can he insure that? No. They have lost the whole market share because of that. Can they insure that? No. Okay, then business risks which are due to natural causes, like let's say those things will not happen to Shanta's case because he's just there are cleaning tools, cleaning items. So let's say evaporation or some sort of a thing happen to this material. Can we insure that thing? No. The depletions or the risks that are because of natural causes, business risk, those things cannot be insured. And also they say damages that is due to future market conditions, damages that might happen to business due to future market conditions, those things cannot be insured. So and losses that might happen due to these recessions and economic changes, those things cannot be insured. So those are non-insurable. So the question is asking you to identify 2 risks that he cannot insure. So writing 2 would be enough. Okay, here you can write simply losses due to the changes in the economic condition. Okay, or the losses due to future decisions of the managers or the partners. Okay, or losses due to natural causes, losses of raw material and everything due to natural causes. Those things cannot be insured. So you can write them. Very last one, state 2 facilities that the government provides to business organizations. What are the facilities which are given by governments to organizations? Just stating 2 would be enough. Provide infrastructure, what else? Subsidies, that means financial facilities will be given in the form of subsidies, loans or grants or yes, what else? They will give manage trainings and guidances through these vocational training institutions and those other institutions. Okay, they will arrange those seminars and everything, and they will give the trainings to these people. Okay, training and guidance will be provided by the government. They will give the financial facilities. They will give chances to promote their businesses, entrepreneurships. Okay, and they will, if there are like new designs or new things in the market, in the export market, okay, they will introduce those things to the entrepreneurs as well. Okay, through the different institutions. Those things will be done, and they will also conduct researches. Okay, they will give that knowledge to people in the relevant fields. They will do technical advisory services. They will give the management training. Okay, management development will be there. Okay, all those things will be done by a government to the entrepreneurs, to the business organizations in the country. So stating 2 would give you full marks. So that is the end of the paper 2023 July business environment.